Crow's Nest scheduling is offered in a variety of formats, enabling you to make timely and critical business decisions with the power of real-time information and visibility at your fingertips. Are you currently too dependent on spreadsheets or whiteboards to figure out how best to utilize your resources for greatest efficiency? Are you missing your completion dates due to unexpected bottlenecks? Can your estimators look ahead and visually see if the bid they are working on will fill a gap or cause excessive burden should you win the bid? In this video, you will see how three components of Crow's Nest scheduling used together will answer these questions and enable you to know when and how best to schedule your jobs. This video will introduce you to the Crow's Nest Task Overview Timeline, the Crow's Nest Calendar, and the Production Scheduler. As you might have seen in our task management video, tasks or processes are automatically triggered and are automatically and dynamically updated based on the latest information entered into Crow's Nest. Each work order entered within a Crow's Nest project will trigger multiple date-driven tasks that are assigned to employees. The tasks' due dates are based on a formula that allows for this dynamic updating. The Task Overview Timeline, now being shown, is an area in which to explore any and all tasks, updated as of that moment in time this form is being utilized. User-created filters provide unique views of only those tasks that we want to focus on. Having selected the milling filter, we limit the tasks displayed to that of cutting, edge banding, finishing, assembly, and attaching hardware for all open work orders. So what is the impact on the milling tasks when you are informed that one of your projects is being pushed back a month? In this example, the Orange County Commission Headquarters project moves from an anticipated April 1st installation date to May 2nd. We simply move to this project's work order and update with the new installation date of May 2nd. And then when we return to the Task Overview Timeline and refresh once again by clicking on the milling filter, we can instantly now see and visualize the impact on the overall milling task by the gap that has been created on the ongoing schedule. This visualization gives you a very quick and powerful ability to then go back to your other projects that have more flexibility and make those adjustments that will maximize your resource utilization, resulting in increased efficiency and productivity. Now let's explore another scheduling type of view offered, the Crow's Nest Calendar. The calendar is multidimensional in that it will represent many different types of data, such as work order data, project task data, as well as work order task related data. One of the most beneficial aspects of the calendar is the introduction of quantities as they relate to scheduling. These quantities themselves are associated with a user-defined daily, weekly, and monthly capacity. When using the calendar, you may very quickly determine overcapacity situations as they are highlighted in red. As can be seen, we have an overcapacity 55 hours of assembly labor for March 1st. The work order details below is in context to the calendar view that is selected, which may be monthly or weekly, and even on a specific day view. While March 1st is highlighted, we will move the 25 hours of the Stairs Hospital project to March 2nd to smooth out our production schedule and to take care of our overcapacity situation by just dragging and dropping to March 2nd. And as can be seen, our overcapacity situation is now resolved. In many cases, you may not have the option to simply adjust quantities to fit your general capacity, such as when a date is critical to meeting a specified contract condition. In these cases, Crow's Nest gives you the ability to adjust your resources to meet your quantity demands. The Crow's Nest calendar facilitates this by adding the capacity view. By opening up the capacity tab, we are presented with the 5 employee resources that work in the assembly department, as well as their average amount of time allocated to the assembly department. By selecting the display capacity checkbox, we now see that in addition to the quantity 30 assembly hour requirement, which remains in conformance with our general daily capacity, we also see that we only have 21 net hours of assembly department resource available for this day. So we need to come up with 9 hours. We know that Norm, for the last 30 days, has been assigned 100% of his time to the assembly department. As can be seen here in Norm's employee labor detail screen, Norm has been working a 9-hour, 4-day-a-week shift with an off day on Tuesdays. Knowing that we will need an extra 9 hours on March 1st, let's schedule Norm for Tuesdays with 9 hours, and then upon returning to the calendar, we will see that our resource requirements will now be met. Having saved a potential critical production delay and quite possibly our profit on this project. Crow's Nest also provides a powerful and easy to use production scheduling tool called Timeline. Timeline works in conjunction with Crow's Nest work orders and enables the creation of production activities for each department of labor to be deployed in a given work order. In other words, each work order may have as many activities created as there are labor departments to be deployed. Each activity may be assigned an independent quantity of days in which to complete activities. As can be seen here, we have a number of different activities that have been created for various work orders for the assembly department on these various projects, requiring 7 days, 10 days, and 4 days respectively. Also, as can be seen, all of the weekends are grayed out, which make them generally unavailable to schedule labor around. In addition to the weekends that can be predetermined in the setup of Crow's Nest, you can also add special days. For example, if the company was to be closed on February 22nd, that could be provided company-wide for everybody, and even on an individual basis, Robert T. will be given the day off on the 23rd and unavailable for scheduling as a resource. One more thing to be considered is even on days off, employees can be given a special day on, as can be seen here where it is opened up for Oliver on Saturday the 20th. We further see that the assembly department is checked and therefore these employees belong to the assembly department. Lastly, we see that the employees in the assembly department have numbers assigned to them. This is an employee skill set rating, 1 to 5, 5 being the most skilled, 1 being the least skilled. And this is helpful when scheduling the right resource to the difficulty rating that can be assigned to an activity, as we see. Scheduling is as simple as deciding which employee you want to distribute the work to, looking at this work order and activity requiring 7 days on the AHM project with a difficulty rating of 3 or above. Why don't we select Oliver? Let's open up the 23rd of February and beyond. Just drag and drop, and that's simply we have scheduled Oliver. Similarly, for the Hollywood Arts project for the, again, assembly department, we have 10 days to distribute. Why don't we distribute to Alexander sometime, maybe 4 days, as well as Norm, and maybe even Betty. So they don't have to be contiguous. Just drag and drop. It's 10 days. And you can see not only are they automatically distributed amongst, but even automatically color coded. Lastly, it's very easy to make changes in terms of personnel. For example, maybe these 3 days we want to move them to Oscar. Very, very easily done. Now, Crow's Nest Timeline offers various views. This is the project view, but we can look at scheduling on a per work order view and even a project role view. The Crow's Nest Timeline has been designed for quick, easy, and flexible project scheduling to accommodate the many frequent and often unexpected changes that we experience.